my darling of the night. Though I knew you weren't right, still I'd do whatever you decide. 'Cause your love was dangerous.
My definition of athlete is different to anyone else I know. My definition of athlete is, if you've got kids, you're an athlete. If you walk around every day, you're an athlete. If you pick up shopping, you're an athlete. If you clean stuff, you're an athlete. If you run marathons, you're an athlete. If you walk marathons, you're an athlete. If you walk to work, you're an athlete. If you train with Lance Armstrong, you're an athlete. If you're Lance Armstrong, you're an athlete. If you move your body, if you huff and puff a bit, you're an athlete. All these people go, oh, I'm not an athlete. I don't need to eat healthy. I don't need to eat much, carbohydrates. I need to just eat more fat. You know what I mean? So people say, I need to eat more fat if I'm sedentary. Go figure. So if you're an athlete, if you do stuff, if you talk passionately, you're an athlete. You know what I mean? Like talking takes a lot of glycogen, a lot of energy. So I think everybody's athletic. People just are conditioned by society to think, oh, I'm a bit overweight, so I'm not that fit. I'm not an athlete. You know what I mean? So they continually dumb themselves down by this, silly self-negative talk. Step it up. You're an athlete, and you're going to get fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter. You know what I mean? You're an athlete. That's my definition of athlete, is everybody who moves their body. How often do you exercise? For how long and how intensely? That's a good question. I did the data last year for 2010, and I averaged about 36 kilometers a day cycling and about 2.7 kilometers a day running. So that's not a lot of exercise for someone who's running at my speed and racing in my categories. That's almost unheard of, really. People say, how much do you cycle? You averaged 220 Ks a week. I mean, that's nothing. Most average cycling commuters going to and from work do 200 Ks a week. So it's not a lot of training at all. Running-wise, people just don't believe how little I run. I'm building it up slowly with the running, though. So I do a balance of everything. I have my easy weeks, my easy days, my easy months, my easy years even. Had a few, recovery years. And now, I'm doing more racing, things like that. So how to answer that question, it depends, I exercise every day depending on how I feel. But I make sure that every 4th week I have easy. I make sure that I only do 2 hard sessions a week and the rest is just easy. A lot of easy cycling. Intensity once or twice a week. Intensity might be a 10-minute time trial or a 1 kilometer repeats in the run. You know what I mean? The rest of the time it's just easy. Listen to the Walkman, listen to audiobooks, chatting with my mates, enjoying the scenery. So I have to be careful not to overtrain. So I train very minimalistically, just enough. I'm very cautious of doing too much training because you feel too good. You want to go and smash it every day. You can't do that. Even if you're on steroids, if you smash it every day, you become smashed. So I have to monitor my training output, make sure I don't do too much, and err on the side of less is better than too much. So that's the only health concern, is feeling too good, trying to live too hard, not getting enough rest. Body mass index is probably about 19.7, which is pretty standard for a cyclist, endurance cyclist of my caliber, currently racing A grade, otherwise known as category 1. Typical days, I wake up and my daily discipline is I drink a quart or a litre of water. Doesn't matter how cold it is, doesn't matter if I'm having watermelon for breakfast or coconut water, I still drink my litre of water upon rising. I drink it slowly, I don't knock it back too fast, I just drink it, walk around, get my stuff ready. I'll go and do some exercise. It might be cleaning stuff, it might be a bike ride, it might be a little jog, 2 kilometer jog or something like that. Something easy, and maybe twice a week I'll do the intensity stuff. And I always have a bit of fruit with me when I go. Might be just a banana or a date. It's just so my body isn't going, hey, we haven't eaten for the last 12 hours, what's going on? So I always have a little snack with me with my morning exercise, a banana or a date or 2 dates. If I'm going out for longer, I'll take more food with me. Official competitions is most weekends. And if there's not an official competition on a most weekend, I'll go out with my friends, and that's our unofficial competition, but it's just as hard often. So generally once a weekend, I go out and hit it. And it's good fun. That's my social life, is training with friends. It's great. Just get smashed on the bike instead of getting smashed at the pub. I got 6th in a 10k race recently, 10 kilometer running race. I ran a 37:22 GPS measured. 6th in the Sunshine Coast, I think that's alright, you know. I've won a few running races up there, some low-key ones. I'm not a professional athlete. I don't use any drugs at all. I don't even drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I don't take caffeine tablets. I don't drink green tea. I don't do cacao. I'm not saying people who do those things are bad. That's just, I could win a lot more races if I did stimulants, guaranteed. I'm not prepared to do that. Best marathon time, 3:06. Best 10K time, 37:22. And these are official times, official distances. Best half marathon is 1:22:35. Best 5K, 17:58. And cycling, my best is like I've won the South Australian 24-hour mountain bike race twice. I've podiumed many times, more than anyone in SA. I got 11th in the Nationals one year overall, 2004. Yeah, win occasional local bike races, place up there. What else have we got? Paris-Brest Paris, first Australian in 2003. I did Paris-Brest Paris in 51 hours 30, which is a 1,243 kilometre bike race in France. And there's no prize money, there's no medal for first place. It's a bit like a lot of the ultra marathons. The people say, oh, it's not an official race then. It's like, yeah, it's not an official race, but you tell the people at the front, hey guys, it's not a race, let's just take it easy. So it's a race. It's just not a prize money fame race. Paris-Brest Paris, the oldest bike race on the planet. And I finished up in the top 40 there, out of 4,000 riders. I've cycled over 180,000 kilometres as a vegan. My biggest day solo is 515 kilometres. My biggest week is 1,530 kilometres. My biggest month is 4,370 kilometres. And my biggest year is 30,000 kilometres plus 20. So I'm a stats man. Talking to a friend this morning, he was saying, Harley, how much is it? And I said, it's 80% mental, 20% physical, at least. You know, because I see so many people who, they don't believe they can do something, but they have the bike or the genetics or the nutrition, but they don't believe they can, so they'd never do it. And I know people who believe they can, and they have a crap bike, crappy nutrition, and they do pretty good. So when you get the nutrition and bike and all that stuff on board, then boom, they're really hitting it. So mental, 80%, physical, 20%. Definitely believe that one. And I've trained with people like Lance Armstrong, Cadell Evans, Stuart O'Grady, all these top cyclists, and just when you talk to them, just how they hold themselves, they're big self-believers, man. You know, they're just incredible. There's a road called Corkscrew Road. I've been riding this road for 12 years, you know, on all various sorts of diets, you know what I mean? And today I rode the fastest ever time up there. I did a 9:25, and there's an Olympic gold medalist that lives around here. He did like an 8-minute something a few years ago, so about a minute off the best ever time. You know, and this is a hill that doesn't have much wind assistance, so it's very steep, it's very sheltered, so there's not much wind assistance. So your times are pretty good, you know what I mean? There's not much wind assistance there going on. So I've did my fastest ever time today in 12 years of riding that hill. Something's going on, you know what I mean? I'm no drugs, no stimulants, all my blood tests are always good. That's my definition of health, is you're getting better, you know what I mean? Relevant to your age or your past health.
'Cause your love was dangerous. Yeah, your love was dangerous. And I was into taking risks.